Hi folks, Steven here. So this is going to be another live stream. Today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Go Community Day, the first one for November. There's actually two. So we're going to be talking about the Electabuzz Pokemon Go Community Day that was held just today, the day we're recording this. So yeah, so I'm actually going to go straight into our presentation here. Let's see here. In addition, we're going to be talking about the some anime stuff that came out and some Pokédex Network updates. Okay, so weather. Well, if we had done this last weekend, it would have been a lot warmer. We had a very mild first week or so of November, at least through the third or fourth through the last Monday, we were way above average, like 20 degrees. This weekend, much more seasonal, as you can kind of see from these statistics here. So just to review, last month on the 17th of October, let's see, we had high of 62 on a normal of 59, low of 33 on a normal of 38. Average wind speed 11.5 miles per hour. Now on the right you have the weather for yesterday. Because the weather for today isn't in the National Weather Service, but today seemed pretty similar based on what I saw here. The high yesterday was 48 degrees on a normal of 45, so actually a pretty big difference for just 1 month there. So you can kind of see where the fulcrum or whatever you want to say is there. And their low was 26 under a normal of 29. Average wind speed yesterday 15.2 miles per hour, which is pretty fast, pretty quick. And today I was outside for a little bit today and it seemed kind of similar to be honest. So kind of rough weather this weekend. Last weekend would have been a lot nicer, but oh well. All right, and let's see here. All right, so this was, let's see, obviously I took this very late in the thing here, but I did get a start near the beginning of the time period. But Electabuzz Community Day. So first off, there's more Electabuzz in the wild. You can get your usual snapshots, and then you have your tickets for the special research Electric for Electabuzz. I don't know if that's a reference to something or something of that nature. If you do know, give us a comment. They've tried to do, famous phrases or novels or stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. And then 1/4 hatch distance, so hopefully you got an egg incubated, or several perhaps, today, if you want to work on that. All right. Oh. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. In any case, here's what was in the store for today. Let's see, there's the Community Day box, which I haven't bothered to pick up for a while. 30 Ultra Balls Elite Fast TM. It's a Super Incubator and Incense. Otherwise, you got your regular Ultra Ball in there. Was a freebie you had in there. 30 Ultra Balls for free, which is a pretty good deal. To say the least. That got me through most of today, actually, until I eventually had to go hit some Pokestops and stuff while running some errands. So let's see here. Next up, we've got... so this does come with another special research ticket type deal. There are some, as they've been doing the last couple months at least, there have been some baseline stuff you can do without spending money that'll get you like a Sinnoh Stone and some other stuff, but... And we have Professor Will talking about some power outages he's been having over at his RV or whatever it is over there. Mobile lab, which I find kind of interesting. Pokemon, lightning or electric Pokemon, depending on which part of the franchise you're in. But in any case, they seem to either some sort of source of power, or they seem to be something that just tries to feed off of power. Which is kind of weird and strange and whatnot like that. So I know like in the Ranger games they will charge up your stylus and stuff like that, but here of course they're causing problems by trying to sap the batteries on his mobile lab. Otherwise, let's see, last month we had a 5 spot thing because we had that Mega Evolution thing for Charizard. This time around it's only the 4 for Electabuzz. And kind of an interesting thing, we'll talk about Elekid a little bit later, but there weren't really any of those out there, it seems, at least that I could see. Well, in any case, you have to do some of the usual stuff for the first phase, power up Pokemon 10 times, catch 15 Electabuzz, and make 5 nice throws. So you get some rewards off of that, some Pokemon appear, more Electabuzz to get you further along on some of that stuff. So one thing we always do here is we compare the regular and the shiny of the Pokemon. This one, not maybe the most special. I mean, the yellow color is incredibly closely associated with lightning or electric Pokemon. More than practically any type other than like fire. So that's kind of limits the options of what they can do there. Over on the right, you see the shiny Electabuzz. I got a couple of those today. This one, as you can see, I don't know, they were just okay stats-wise. They weren't terrible or anything, but kind of looks more orange, obviously. I don't know if that's supposed to be like hazardous equipment color or something like that. It's almost like it's not quite as bright as a traffic cone. And almost kind of looks like a bad sunburn, but not going to say it's awful or anything. Alright, so after completing those first tasks, I get to the second task, and what you have here is, it talks a little about Elekid. Now, Elekid, I didn't see anything in raids, didn't see it's really spawn anywhere. I'm sure there's ways to get it. You can probably get it from hatching eggs and whatnot. Not sure, maybe some of the eggs I got from Pokestops today, maybe those will eventually hatch an Elekid if I'm lucky, I suppose. I'm not sure if that's a thing that can happen, but it would be neat. One thing it mentions here is that Elekid's horns, there's a current that flows there. I picked up this nice picture from the Pikachu's Rescue Adventure short from Pokemon 2000 to show it off there. Of course, Elekid is very big there. And of course, its horns there, they look like plugs. And I'm sure, you know, this is a little bit of, I guess, inside baseball, but those plugs there are, well, they're based on the ones that are used in Japan, which are pretty much for two-prong plugs, the same ones we use here in North America. But of course, other parts of the world use different things. To go in on that, and so I'm wondering, you know, I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of this, but they could certainly have done like a Galarian Elekid, since the Alolan region is in North America. It uses the same plugs as Japan pretty much for the two main prongs. But you can see here, this, if you've never seen it before, is a travel adapter, and my sort of observation here is that maybe they could do something like this for Galarian Elekid if they had wanted to. But I guess there are certainly other regions that can do that type of thing, so just wanted to kind of point that out. Alright, here's our second level task. Let's see, we have to catch more Electabuzz, transfer 10 Pokemon, and then we have to use a lot of pineapple berries. It takes a lot to evolve Electabuzz into an Electivire, which we'll get to see later, spoiler alert. And you get some rewards off of that, some Stardust, some Incense, and then a Poffin. Now, I did go into some raids during this time period. They're always spawning, of course, in the game, but there were some here. Let's see. I guess they tried to do some electric stuff to sort of theme with it, I guess, because there are a bunch of Shinx raids that I went through on this one, as well as Alolan Geodude, which I believe is part of electric as well. No Electabuzz raids or Elekid raids or anything like that, which is kind of interesting. These were level 1 raids, so they actually worked out pretty well. I was able to do those by myself, although one of them I did get someone else there with me, so there were 2 of us, so it went really quick on those. So, made some nice experience. You know, even level 1 raids are worth 3,500 experience, which is pretty good. Now, the one that didn't go so well, Mega Blastoise. A couple of these popped up, kind of unfortunately, as we were going on. I say unfortunately because I wasn't actually able to, I didn't even really bother with these. I sort of backed out of the lobby because I was the only person there, and I tried to invite people, but like there was only ever like one person online. You know, not that I expect them to drop everything, but I kind of expected to get a few more people out there for a Pokemon Go community day. I don't know if there was some other stuff going on with some of my Pokemon Go friends on there, but excuse me, that's neither of these really worked out. I didn't even really bother. All right, one thing I did bother with, just to kind of see what would happen, you get those research tasks, and one of the ones I got, the ones that are, not time limit or specific to an event or stuff like that. So the one I got, how much I talk about doing curveballs. And this one was make 5 great curveball throws in a row. Yeah, it does say, you can't see the in a row there, but it was in fact in a row. Now luckily, Electabuzz is a pretty big Pokemon, so you get a pretty big target where you can still get a great on it. So it did take a little bit of trying, but I did do that just to practice. I hadn't gotten to the 3rd stage yet. But what do you get for all your work there? Well, you got a Pokemon counter for this one, and I got a Spinda. So it was, I guess, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit higher up there. Spinda is a fairly rare Pokemon in Pokemon Go. So I guess it was kind of nice. It was one I didn't have either, so I got the new Pokemon experience bonus for it, which was nice. But I was kind of hoping for something a little bit, not a mythical, but maybe a legendary, if you're going to do 5 curveball throws, great curveball throws in a row. Okay, not totally looking a gift horse in the mouth here. It was kind of nice, but... Now, unfortunately, I did not get a screenshot of the actual tasks for level 3 of this one. What we wound up with, though, is pretty much the usual tasks. You had to, let's see, I think you had to catch some more Electabuzz. That was pretty sure on that one. You definitely had to make a couple great curveball throws, and this was after I'd done the Spinda thing, so I had to do a few more of those. But like I said, Electabuzz is a pretty big Pokemon, and not hard to do that. Compared to some other ones. And but here is one of the little story segments there. It glows a whitish blue, and I think that also kind of ties into the shinies. Some of the fire shinies, they turn like bluish white, like Ponyta, and electricity kind of does the same things or whatever, color-wise. So that kind of limits their options. But let's see here. So I did complete those tasks. And the other one was evolve Electabuzz into Electivire. So you can kind of see that there. So those were the 3. I don't think there was more catch Electabuzz. I think that we had to transfer some stuff. But in any case, Electivire, one of the several, you can see Weavile there, several of the, Gen 4 added evolutions with all of that. And of course, if you look at the silhouettes down there, it's right in the Pokédex, is Magmortar, which we'll be seeing soon. And so what's left is Tangrowth, Rhyperior, which now that I have some Sinnoh Stones, I need to evolve one of those one of my Rhydon for that. Licky, Magnezone. You can see this whole range of the Pokédex right here. Some stuff I'll be able to fill in hopefully soon now that I have some more Sinnoh Stones to work with. But yeah, so let's see. So I had to pick this one out. I just don't ever know whether they find my jokes funny. Should I take a comedy class? So I'm not expecting, immensely great humor in these things. That's always hard to translate there, but and I do appreciate the fact that it is a little bit corny. But I guess keep working on it, Professor Willow. In any case, as usual, the last step in this process is you just get to claim a bunch of stuff. You get some Stardust, some experience, and you get, a silver pineapple berry, as well as some other bonuses. So, gets you a whole bunch of good stuff there. And, of course, the encounter you get at the very end is another Electivire, and just like one you would evolve during or slightly after this event, you would get one that knows Flamethrower, a move it cannot normally use. I'm not sure what they're doing for Magmortar, for giving it Thunderbolt or something like that. A move it doesn't normally know. But it says caught during special research, which is kind of fun there. So got 2 Electivire out of this thing here, which is always pretty nice. So I'd still say, despite the repetitive tasks, pretty good stuff for the things there. All right, unfortunately I missed this. It is not 5-step, it is 4-step. I'm very sorry about not catching that one there. But tasks were still pretty standard. That is also from last time. Yeah, I suppose if the things weren't in lockdown, they could have given you something like, walk around a bit and get some watts or whatever to sort of simulate, generating electricity or something like that. Obviously they're not going to make you go out in a thunderstorm or something, or charge your phone. I guess they could have done that. That would have been kind of funny. I don't know if the apps can actually tell all that stuff. That would be kind of funny if they had done that. Maybe the next time we get an electric Pokemon there. Just occurred to me right now. But yeah, it would be kind of nice to have some more stuff that is thematic to whatever it is. And then, let's see, level 1 remote raids. I'm glad a lot of those showed up because it let me get a lot of experience. And then, it seems like I haven't seen many level 2s recently, which I can also do by myself, and sometimes level 3s, but just sort of a thing there. And if it weren't for those, if I'd gotten stuck with all like level 5s and stuff, it would have been pretty disappointing, and megas would have been pretty disappointing there. But yeah, overall I liked it. Like I said, I hope they can do more diverse research tasks. I think maybe the writing wasn't quite as in-depth because they had to also do that Magmortar one, which is in a week or two. But looking forward to that as well. Kind of interesting they're doing 2 in 1 month. I assume that next month in December they'll do one that's a recap of the whole year like they usually do, or did last year at least. Alright, we have a couple other things to cover here. First off, in case you missed it, on Friday, I think it was, they announced the Western title for the next Pokemon movie, Secrets of the Jungle. Kind of would have liked something a little more, it's not awful or anything, it's a little bit generic if it weren't called, Pokemon on there. But yeah, they put out a trailer. Apparently the music's different than in the Japanese version of a similar trailer there, which, I'm a little more ambivalent about than some folks, and we'll see what happens in the actual movie. I am kind of interested to hear what the new guy they have on the Japanese side at some point has put together. But yeah, it's obviously got a little bit of a Tarzan bend to it, and stuff like that, and a very nice art picture there. So we'll see how all that ends up fitting together. We'll know more soon. It does release next month in Japan. We don't know exactly what's happening with it, if it's going to be a Netflix exclusive or come out some other way. Let's see what else we got. Oh, as you can see over there in the ponytails, I guess, is the main character. It is nothing wrong with guys having ponytails, of course. But I did want to point out, you notice we have the new squirrel Pokemon from Sword and Shield. So this is really the first movie, especially since the last one was a remake, that has the new Pokemon in there, and we'll see what else is in there. I forgot to look real close at the trailer, but that is a thing, and I'm excited to see what comes next. All right. So a little bit of news on the Pokecasters Network front. So they are trying to get stuff back together and doing more things. They're hoping that next month they're going to run a charity event, tabletop event, and they need some volunteers for players, and they're looking for some stuff. So if you happen to be running a tabletop podcast or have some good tabletop experience, I guess get in touch with the Pokecasters on Twitter. So that's something I want to mention. There's not any future raid night dates that I know of. Hopefully that'll be starting again soon and stuff like that, especially the DLC that came out last month. But you can sort of see that there. All right, well, as far as the PowerPoint, that takes care of that, but I do want to mention one or two more things. So let's see. Coming up soon, I am in the process of editing together the Disputed Pokemon episode discussion. I have the discussion more or less edited, but I have to record a voiceover and get that out. My goal is to have that out on the podcast feed either tonight or tomorrow at the latest, and that's what we're looking for there. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going there. If you haven't already, of course, last weekend Ann and I recorded our discussion of Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire and the music there last weekend, if memory serves. So you can see the rough cut of that. Obviously, at some point in the future, there'll be a nice polished version with both of our audio. But yeah, so stay safe out there, and thanks.